بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد.
You have a comment that last time you were talking about the day of judgment and all the hisab and Allah is doing it, and it make me depressed. That look like nobody will go to heaven the way the hisab kitab is done. Is there any positive thing in the Quran somewhere that telling you that don't be depressed? There are a lot of positive things there. We can take you to Jannah.
We did talk about those who will skip the whole thing. We did talk about those who will enter Jannah بغير حساب. But overall, to be honest, the Day of Judgment is not a topic that was meant to cheer people up mostly, to be honest with you. It's first of all, it's a terrifying day. And even the prophets who are the best of the best will be scared. And they are not scared because they are not going to go to Jannah. They know they're going to go to Jannah, no doubt. But they're scared because of the anger of Allah. You know, when somebody who, somebody has position and power and he gets angry, even those who they're not the ones who made him angry, they get scared when he's angry.
But Allah said anger is haram.
Brother Sudagar, what did you eat today?
How can we get angry?
Anger is haram. Anger is not haram, as a matter of fact. Anger is halal. Sometimes, like for example, your statement should make me angry. Allah Akbar. Prophet Muhammad got angry multiple times. And the companions used to describe how he looks like, his face becomes red, he stands up. That's when they know he's angry. But the haram, the anger is haram. It depends on the reason why you are angry. If you are angry for the sake of Allah, that's a good anger. When I see my brothers and sisters being killed in India and the ladies are being raped in Kashmir, and I should get angry. That's justified, of course. But if I get angry because my wife forgot to put salt in the food, actually that is justified too. Forget that example. Or too much salt. Oh my God, there is no solution to that. The first case, there is solution. So, but the Prophet ﷺ never got angry for his personal self. When you read the Sirah, you see every time he got angry was because the best of mankind. Right, because of something happened to his companions. He gets angry when somebody hurts his companions. So in certain situations, anger is justified. And actually, you should get angry. And when you see somebody disobeying Allah and making fun of Quran and making fun of the deen, you don't get angry, there's something wrong with you. So, yeah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is angry with mankind, and he's the most patient. Imagine, since Adam until the last day, and people have been disobeying Allah day and night. And he's looking at them, and he's seeing them, and they don't care. So that's why we said yesterday in the hadith, Allah's anger will reach its peak, if we can say so, we can say that, on the Day of Judgment. And that's why even the prophets will say, nafsi, nafsi, I don't dare speak to Allah. Don't come near me. I'm worried about my own self. So in general, the Day of Judgment was not meant, that topic, to make people cheer up and, yahoo, I can't wait. Even though for some people, the Prophet ﷺ tells us, the whole Day of Judgment is like 2 rak'ah. Rak'atayn khafifatayn. For some people, we said this before, they come out of the grave, they'll find an angel standing outside. Don't be scared. Everything is under control. Just come with me. It'll show him way to Jannah. Done. Nothing of all that will happen. And for some people, will stand in the line. So, going back, we talked about hisab last time. We talked about the two different situations. Whenever Allah wills. So some people will get the book in the right hand, some people will get the book in the left hand. And we said when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls those people with the right hand, He will put a curtain around them, and Allah will tell them, read your book. He gets so scared, he stops. Allah says, read it again. He finds the tawbah, and he gets happy, and he celebrates. And Allah tells him, you're gonna enter my Jannah, and go tell the other people who were like you. The next thing will be the Mizan, the scale. What is the point of the scale after the judgment has been finished? No, Sirat is after that. We're not Sirat yet. By the way, Sirat, there is no exemptions from Sirat. That thin line above Hellfire, there is no VIPs there. Even the prophets have to cross that. In Surah Maryam, وَمِنْكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا. Not a single one of you except will have to cross over that. You have to experience how Hellfire looks like. So when you go to Jannah, you say, Alhamdulillah, I'm not there. That's a part of the reward of Jannah. Yeah. We're going to get to Sirat. Sirat is the last thing before entering Jannah or Hellfire. God forbid. What was I saying?
What was the point of the Mizan?
That's right. What is the point of the Mizan if the judgment is finished? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to show everyone their deeds and how heavy they are. So for the believers who are going to go to Jannah, they will know what was that deed that made a difference. Sometimes you do one thing in your life that makes Allah so happy that will let you go to Jannah.
Sure.
Not necessarily straight, but you will see your deeds and how heavy they are. Of course, having heavy deeds is a good thing. When Allah talks about heavy scales, meaning a lot of good deeds. Light scales is not good. Bad deeds. I'll tell you the story. I don't know if I told you the story about the scale or not, about Abu Hassan. Did I tell you the story of Abu Hassan? It's about the scale.
No,
It explains what the point of the scale is. So this happened, I would say about, few centuries ago. Obviously before I was born. My brother Sudagar was there. So there was a man, his name was Abu Hassan. And at that time, they used to call people by their children's name, Abu Hassan, Abu, the father of who, the father of whatever. He was very poor. And one time he woke up in the morning, his wife came to him, he had 3 children. And he said, the kids are hungry. We have not been eating for a while. Please go do something. We need to eat. So he went out the house and he started begging people. Please help. I have family. I need to feed them. So there was a scholar, imam of that area. His name was Abu Ahmad. So Abu Ahmad saw Abu Hassan begging. He said, I have a better idea. Come with me. He said, how can you help me? He said, just come with me. They got a fishing rod and he said, let's go fishing. He said, my children are hungry. I don't have time for this. He said, just come with me. They sat there for a short time and they caught a big fish. Abu Hassan, the poor man, got so happy. And he said, half of the fish is yours. To the imam, to the scholar. Because if it wasn't for you, I will be just sitting begging people for help. The imam said, no, I helped you for the sake of Allah. All of it is yours. And he said something really nice. He said, if I helped you with the intention of getting a reward, that would not have happened. We would not have caught it. You see the point? I helped you only to please Allah. That's why Allah gave you this. When I helped you, if my original intention was whenever we catch something, I'm going to ask you for a payment, then we would not have caught anything. Take it, sell it, and buy some food for your kids. Abu Ahmad was extremely happy. He took the fish, he ran, he sold it, and he bought 2 pies. And he was running home really happy. Finally, he's going to feed his kids. He saw an old lady sitting on the side of the street with some kids herself, orphans. She asked him, do you have something I can feed my orphans? He stopped for a second and he had to make a decision. My kids are hungry too. So do I give her one pie and keep one pie for myself? What do I do? He said to himself, my children come first. So he just walked away. As he was walking, he didn't give her anything. He looked back and he saw one tear coming out of her eye. That really moved him. So he went back and he gave her both pies. He gave her both of them because that one tear really moved him. So he went back home. His wife was waiting for him. You spend the whole day, kids are hungry, what is the food? He didn't tell her anything about the pies and stuff. He said, I'm sorry, I was not able to get anything. She said, what are we gonna do? We are in trouble. All of a sudden, he hears his name. Abu Hassan, somebody wants to talk to you. So he goes out of the house. He sees a man, he does not know him, a traveler. He said, are you Abu Hassan? Yes, I am Abu Hassan. The son of so-and-so, that's your father's name and this and that. He said, yes. Where is your father? He passed away. He said, your father had loaned me 35,000 dirham. It's a fortune. And I am sorry for being late. Here, the money is yours. He gave 2 pies. Allah gave him the same day 35,000 dirham, a fortune. So he took the money. Of course, he was extremely happy. And he started a business. And he built a shop for himself. And then in a short time, he became the wealthiest in the town. And he started building masajid and donating to the point that people changed his name to Al-Karim, the most generous. Not the most generous, the generous. Abu Hassan Al-Karim, the generous. He will never let anyone down. Anybody needs help, he will go and give him money. Until one night, he had a dream, Abu Hassan. Now he's rich. He has shops and he gives money and he donates and all that. In the dream, he sees himself on the day of judgment. And they call his name, Abu Hassan, it's your time for the hisab. So he goes and he stands before the scale, the Mizan. They put his good deeds on one side and his bad deeds on the other side, and they find out that the bad deeds were more. So he says, wait, what happened to all the money I donated? I gave money to the poor, I gave money to the masajid. They brought it. They said, well, everything has to be counted. And they put it on the scale of his good deeds, and all the money he donated turned into cotton. It weighs nothing. He said, why? They said, because you didn't do it for the sake of Allah. Your intention was to be called a generous, and they did call you generous. You did it for the people. These deeds don't matter to Allah. All the money you gave is like cotton in the scale of your deeds. So Abu Hassan gets so scared, he said, there is nothing we can do. There has to be something. I'm going to go to Hellfire this way. More bad deeds. They said, there is only one thing we still did not use.
Why?
He said, what? He said, they said the tear that came out of that lady's eye. That one tear. He said, what will one tear do? All the money I gave did not count as anything. One tear came out of that lady's eye. So the angels tell him, again in the dream, Allah is the most fair, the most just. Even that tear will be put on the scale of your good deeds. Because of that tear, you gave the lady the pie. When they put the tear on the scale of the good deeds, it was heavier than all of the rest of his good deeds. Or everything he's done in his life was not equal to that tear of that lady that made him change his mind. When he woke up the next day, he understood that the 2 pies that he gave was that's all he had. But he did it for the sake of Allah. Because that lady, he felt bad for her when she cried. To Allah, that is greater than the millions that he gave, so he can be called generous. That's what the scales are there for. You come and you see your deeds, and then sometimes you see things that in the dunya, you belittled. You said anybody will do this. It's not really a big deal. And because of this, Allah will give you a higher rank in Jannah. And that works the other way around too.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نستغفرك ونتوب إليك ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم واعف عنا إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.